死んだ。わあ、初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなに家賃が多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君、まだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ、万歳、ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランド、トゥライドまで。
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてるね。この世界、季節にいけるかな。昔グレートだと、大きにまたグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そうそうそうそう。やらせるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Major I out of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Monday. And we have big news today, ladies and gentlemen. Huge news in the world of YouTube. CobraCast 1. That's right. CobraCast 1. It's over. It is over. We won. We'll talk about it here. I'll let everybody join in before we really get started. But CobraCast 1. This all started a few years ago. And today we have confirmation that we won. I'll show all of you here in just a few minutes. But first, hello, everyone. And by the way, I'm going to be honest. I don't believe Jessica when she says this. I'm sensing some sarcasm when Jessica says, okay, fine, Jeremy, you look gorgeous. Your hair is luscious and beautiful. I don't believe you, Jessica. I don't believe you. I'm thinking there's some sarcasm in there. Just a hunch. We'll see. Good to see you finally back, Jessica. Packy Proton says, Zorak Mom Dummy elected a convicted criminal to help shape NYC's crime and policing policy. NYC needs Trump. NYC needs a lot of things, and NYC is in big, big trouble. Packy Protons also says Florida goes to war with Muslim Brotherhood, LFG. I've got that on the talking points for tonight as well. Stress Level says, you telling me we're not going to talk Candace or Fuentes? Oh, man. Vault 95 says, I'd rather watch you than Drama Maker Timmy. Well, speaking of Drama Maker Timmy, speaking of him, ladies and gentlemen, this show started a few years ago as basically a one-off, a meme on Tim Pool. That was what the point of CobraCast was. Initially, the show was called CobraCast IRL, which was a meme on Timcast. This is all because, and most of you already know this, but the backstory is this is because Tim Pool shut his chat down to members only. Now, I want to put clarification out there. There's nothing wrong with having a members only stream. There's nothing wrong with having a members only chat. There is something wrong with taking a show that is historically been open to the public and then making it members only. That is the problem. And so Tim was facing an unbelievable amount of criticism because of Eliza Blue, which was this feminist that was striking channels down, and she had just been on the show, and they wrote a little puff piece on her for timcast.com. He was supposed to talk about it, but then the quartering didn't show up. So he claims that he changed all of his topics because the quartering didn't show up, which is 100% bullshit. Tim has never built his topics around a guest. So he was facing so much criticism in his chat that he turned his chat to members only so that people couldn't say what they wanted to say in his chat. Now, this is coming off of the Jack Murphy thing where he still behaved similarly with Jack Murphy, who he had on his show and he didn't want to address anything. And so when he turned it to members only, I was like, that's way too far. Way too far. Again, clarify. Nothing wrong with doing a members only stream, nothing wrong with doing a members only chat. But when you take your flagship show and you turn it into members only because you can't face the criticism, that's a huge fucking problem. Anyway, he did that, and I said, no, we have to meme. So I'd made a few videos on the Jack Murphy and Eliza Blue stuff leading up to that, and finally I just decided, let's do a show. My thumbnail was a picture of me as Tim Pool with a Jack Murphy beard, because the whole meme is if you did something really, really like gay, you would get a Jack Murphy beard put on you. Tim did not like the Jack Murphy beard being put on him, so we memed me with the Jack Murphy beard. All of this happened. I did one show. It was just meant to be one show to meme on Tim and then move on. The show was so successful. The people spoke and they said, we want more. CobraCast has to continue. And so because the people spoke, CobraCast continued. Now, what's interesting is the first year that CobraCast really got some traction was 2023, I think. And so I went back and I looked up the super chat list because I was memeing on Tim not reading super chats, going to members only. So in 2023, Tim Cast IRL finished 6th in the country. Okay, made $398,000 in super chats in 2023. Okay, my whole thing was I was like, Tim won't read your super chats. I will read your super chats. Okay, this year, Geeks and Gamers finished 16th, and D-Day Cobra finished 22nd. I believe this was the first full year. I think. All right. So as you see, this is in 2023. Okay. Go to last year, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We closed the gap. Tim made about $100,000 less in chat revenue, super chat revenue, and D-Day Cobra moved up to number 8 in the country. Closing in on Tim right there. Only about $20,000 away from Timcast, okay? And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the point where Tim has given up. It's over.
Some conversations with our partners, been talking with Rumble. There may be a solution. And it's going to be rapid change very quickly. We're going to have some emergency meetings. We've already had emergency meetings for obvious reasons. And there is a possibility that the 19th is the last episode of Timcast IRL.
Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. We have single-handedly defeated Timcast IRL. The 19th is the last day for Timcast IRL. We have done it. It's over. CobraCast has won. It's over.
We are doing everything we can to make sure that's not going to be the case. It's no secret that I've been frustrated and disillusioned with a lot of people in politics, but that's no reason to walk away from doing our nightly show with a tremendous success. But the cost is not just money anymore. The cost is the safety of my family, myself, and there are many ideas we're floating around. This morning show that I do.
So there you have it. Now, I'll drop the gimmick for a minute and the sarcasm. Spoilers, he's not quitting. Spoilers, he does this all the time. Spoilers, the 19th is when his Christmas break starts. Spoilers, he'll be back at the first of the year to pretend that well, we made a decision that we're not going to actually kill the show. We just needed to take a little time off. That's what this is all about. He does it every fucking year. He does it because he looks for sympathy points. He does it because he wants to play the fake victim. He wants to be the victim so bad. And that's what he's doing. Do you remember? I'm kind of fuzzy on the details here. Do you remember when Twitter, X, changed the block rule? So if someone blocks you on Twitter, you still can, if they have a public profile, you can still see their public profile. Do you remember this? And when that happened, which I thought was a beautiful move by Elon Musk, when that happened, Tim played the fake victim. And Tim said, well, this is a security problem for us. And if someone can still see my profile even after I've blocked them, this raises security concerns. I don't think I can be on this platform. He said, do you guys remember this shit? He did this, all right? Yes, Tim said he wouldn't tweet anymore. Tim said he wouldn't tweet anymore, okay? You know what's funny about that rule? It's the same rule that YouTube has. I can block someone from my chat on YouTube, but they can still see everything that I do on YouTube. So he was just being disingenuous, playing the fake victim. You can be blocked from the YouTube chat. It doesn't mean you can't see it. It means no one can see you, but you still see everything that happens on the channel if you choose to. So this is just par for the course for him, but I wanted to meme on it. I thought it was funny. Ultimately, I know that he, claims that he had this whole situation that happened. I'm going to believe him, even though I don't know if it's true. I'm going to choose to believe Tim. I saw people were calling him out on it. Right here. Saw the quartering's got his back or whatever. It happened. The video footage exists. The local paper reported on it. This everyone is lying. It's all psyop. Griff can end soon. But right here, somebody called him Tim Cast Timmy Smollett. Now claims that they were out when someone fired shots on his property. Won't provide any receipts whatsoever. But if someone has his chicken coop live stream, we can tell by the chicken's reaction.
We were out, and I got a message just around 1 a.m. And it was vague and nondescript. Just there was an incident. We need to talk with your team. And then we started getting the details trickling in that a car had been lurking or something to that effect, and a shot was fired. We now know that it was 3 shots that were fired. We don't know exactly what or why. And
the only reason to talk about this publicly is to drum up sympathy. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that I am not on Tim Pool's level. I'm not on, any of these guys' level. I'm just a random retard with a microphone. All right. I've had security, scares in the past, and I've chose to not talk about them publicly because I don't want to highlight these things. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but for him to just constantly, like, he's always highlighting his security fucking problems. Always. What up, Ripa? Yes, this is stream number 2, Ripa. So he's always highlighting these things. Always.
We are desperately trying to rationalize. Maybe it's just random. Just somebody was driving down the road in the middle of nowhere in the country and decided to slowly approach our property and then fire several rounds, just for no reason, for fun, perhaps. At this time, for security reasons, I got these people screaming, release the footage. And the concern we have is obvious. To then show everyone where we put our cameras, that's not going to happen.
The issue, I don't know if this is true. I saw a lot of people speculating that it was the same date in December of last year when he claimed this happened. Is that true? It seems like it was true. So last year on whatever, December 6th or 5th or whatever, on December 5th or 6th, Tim claimed a security breach last year, same exact date in December.
And that's the honest truth. That's why I tweeted out, if anybody had been archiving the Chicken City live stream, this is inside of our chicken coop. It doesn't reveal. It's designed specifically not to expose the property, the location, or anything like this. And you would have seen the reaction from the chickens. I know it sounds a little bit silly, but... And so where is it? Riling up their audience, preparing for shows, people who don't like me for whatever reason.
If, in fact, I'm not doubting that Tim faces incredible security risks for how prominent he is. I don't doubt this at all. But Tim has bragged about how much money he has and how much he's worth and how he can quit this today. He's said this 1,000 times. I could go live down in a van by a river. I don't need all of this. I'm a multimillionaire. He's said it 1,000 times. If in fact that's the case, and I believe it is, Tim is a millionaire many times over. If I'm in his situation, I have this compound where many people have the location and the address because of the way he does guests. I would have, which I mean, for me, I already have like a significant amount of security for me in the state of Florida. Like I feel good that nobody's, but if someone does, I will have recordings. Like, how does this guy not have cameras and the best fucking security at every inch of his property? I don't understand. I mean, this is a guy who was so paranoid he wouldn't travel to the Turning Point USA event where Donald Trump and JD Vance and Elon Musk and the entire United States government was there. And Tim said for security reasons, he doesn't feel safe to go where President Trump is. So Brash says, why does this piss you off so much? Let me explain something to you, Brash. I'm only talking to you. I'm not talking to anyone else. I'm only talking to you, okay? I don't want anyone else to hear what I'm going to say. So everybody, can you mute me for a minute except for Brash? Everybody else, please just mute. I don't want anyone else to hear this, okay? All right? All right, so now that everybody else is muted, Brash, I'm just talking to you, me and you one-on-one, okay? It's called grifting, Brash, okay? I don't want the rest of the chat to hear me. I don't want to be exposed as a grifter on the internet, okay? Luckily, they've all muted so they can't hear me. But since me and you are talking one-on-one now, okay? Tim, his name in my videos gets me clicks. So I talk about Tim. My entire channel was built off of memeing on Tim. So I talk about Tim when he gives me an opportunity to talk about him, okay? Now, thanks, Brash. Okay, everybody else can unmute. Thank you for muting. I know that you can hear me tell you to unmute. Which questions, if you can hear me tell you to unmute, did you really mute at all? I don't know. But with that said, I appreciate all of you muting and letting me have a one-on-one conversation with one of our wonderful chatters. That was amazing. Sound's back on. Okay, thank you. All right, confirmed. Confirmed. All right, sound is back on. Fuck yeah, we're rocking and rolling, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Okay. The other day, this is so funny. I love my mom to death, okay? My mom is the greatest mom in the world. I know everybody says that. So the other day on the live stream at Universal Studios, I had the camera pointing out. So I'm walking with the camera and I'm holding the microphone. And I said something, I can't remember. I was memeing on something. I'm like, hey, I don't really want the chat to know this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And I'm saying, I don't want the chat to know this. Yada, yada, yada. I can't remember what I said. My mom calls me up and she goes, honey, I hope that you are not in any trouble, but you were talking to somebody and you were saying you didn't want the chat to know. I'm like, Mom, I literally was holding the microphone to my mouth when I said that. And she goes, what? And I'm like, it's a joke. Like, I'm being sarcastic. She goes, oh, Love you, Mom. But yeah, it was so good. This is when we were having the conversation. She's like, your hair really looks bad in that live stream. I'm like, yeah, I know. But anyway, to wrap up the Tim Pool portion of the show, I almost know for a fact that Tim is not quitting. Okay. He's not quitting. He's going to go on his Christmas vacation. Well, guess what? I'll be here to live stream. I'll be here to talk with all of you. I'll be live all through the holidays because that's what grifters do. Okay. So there you have it. CobraCast 1, baby. It's over. Okay. So, with that said, I hope everybody with Tim's team and Tim is safe. I don't want to see anyone, facing after what happened to Charlie Kirk. I think everybody, especially people on Tim's level, are worried, which rightfully they should be. It's not a joke. It's scary. And I hope that everybody is okay. And I mean that with 100%. Like, I'm genuine, no sarcasm there. Don't want anybody hurt. Don't want anybody's life in danger. It is a scary time. I think there's a better way to handle it, but that's just my opinion. Who am I? I'm just a retard. So who cares what I have to actually say? Okay, let's catch up with the chat, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. You led us to that with your 199 super chat, Vault 95. It was all you. How's your mom's leg? My mom is in her 5th month of the same operation. It's been a struggle for her. The full knee surgery has been a struggle for her. But she's getting there, but it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. So, Gerald Armstrong says Tim has some guy named Gary GG33 on tonight. I have no idea who that is. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. E-Hep says not talking about Candace or Fuentes sounds like something a Jew would do. Tim is crashing out. What is it, like live right now? Seriously? Hang on. Is he live? Let's see here. Uh-oh.
He loved Israel. Some people don't like that, but he certainly did organize a movement that brought people together, that helped get Trump elected, helped Republicans win, and resisted what the Democratic Party had been doing and these psychopath institutions. I don't want to go back to COVID. Does everybody remember what that was like? When you were locked in your home and you had to wear 2 masks and you couldn't go anywhere unless they stuck you in the arm. And the only resistance we had was these feckless loser Republicans who've got nothing done over the past year. And now Charlie Kirk was murdered. And we say, holy crap, what do we do? How do we keep things together? And Candace, with a smile on her face, and Ian Carroll and all the rest of them say, Turning Point did it to themselves. They destroyed themselves. Pull your donations because they work for Israel. Even Nick Fuentes calling it out, saying this is psychotic. So when we lose in the midterms and the Democrats bring back their panels and their subpoenas and they start arresting people like they had already done in the past 4 years, and then we get whatever the equivalent of lockdowns is going to be, and you get President Gavin Newsom, you can mark it all back to this moment when you had evil stand, scream, and cowards refuse to do anything.
With all due respect, always every single president loses in midterms.
And guess what?
Every single one.
The prediction markets showed that it was near 50-50 based on the political swing that we had seen. Gen Z, the first generation in 100 years to tick slightly rightward in some areas, not all, but some. And this was a big moment because while they were very similar to millennials.
Rewind 5 minutes. 5 minutes. If it's going to work. Come on, YouTube. What are we doing? Come on, YouTube.
Political affiliation is got to transfer your boyfriend. We'll see what the evidence. The evidence we have retards on the internet saying stupid shit.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Razor suggests Robinson is the likely culprit. We will see what happens in the trial when evidence is presented. But there's literally no other story. Just a bunch of fucking retards on the internet saying stupid shit.
That's literally every day, Tim. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. People are retarded on the internet. That's why we love the internet. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm wearing a fucking Nintendo jacket. More people want me dead for supporting Nintendo than they want you dead for being a political commentator. Try being a fucking Nintendo fan, Tim. That's where the real violence is.
And what that does is the organization that helped get Donald Trump elected, which needs to persist. You don't got to be a fan of it, but it certainly will help get individual congressional candidates elected and stop Democrats from launching new committees and putting more people in prison like Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro. Instead, it's being gutted by fucking psychopaths telling people to pull their donations. So when this organization burns to the ground or whatever the fuck happens to it, maybe they're fine. The organization that's rallying young people, causing a shift in the political leanings of a generation for the first time in history, is now in dire straits. Their leader and founder murdered, and prominent pieces of human trash are trying to destroy it. It's fucking evil. So you know what?
You literally just brought Milo on to say that Charlie Kirk was gay and that him and Erica were getting a divorce. That's what you brought on. You brought Milo on knowing he was going to say some crazy shit, and you just laughed about it. You just laughed. You're like, ha, 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 ha. That's funny, Milo. And again, you could bring who you want on your show. I'm not telling you you can't, but don't sit there and get mad that people are saying mean things about Turning Point when you yourself brought Milo on to say that Charlie Kirk was gay and that him and Erica were getting a divorce.
What? When someone pulls in front of my property and fires on it several times, I'm sitting here looking at these vile pieces of shit and thinking to myself, for what purpose will I stick my neck out if this is what happens after Charlie Kirk is killed? Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down.
Yes.
And she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the.
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who trying to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And you know, it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy. And it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie. She loved Charlie. And she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is.
Again, why has Turning Point not responded? It's just a simple question. It's a simple question. Now, Tim brings these wild things into like, how can I sell this property? Dude, like, I don't believe, like, I'm not saying I don't believe Tim in terms of his property being attacked. I believe all that. I don't believe he's this upset. I don't believe he's this upset. I believe that he is trying to battle narratives by showing passion and using language that he's never used before, at least on his public show, because he's done this on members only before. And I think it's, which again, I'm not saying there's something wrong with it. I'm just saying I just don't buy it.
Is evil. And I'll say it again, this conservative movement is fractured, it's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending in the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. You know, and I get people saying, Tim, you know, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you in the thumbnail
What a fucking cunt.
of her piece.
We're upset about thumbnails. Candace, can you put me in your thumbnail, please? Please? I've supported your Black Lives Matter documentary. You called them out. Like, I mean, we're upset about thumbnails. That's what we're upset about
Today.
I'm done.
The idea that she'd
I'm
imply
fucking
that you had some benefit or that you benefit somehow, like it.
She benefited. I think she's a Fed, and I think she killed Charlie. No one benefited more than her. And now she is, when you look at what's stopping us from winning in 2026 right now, what the biggest threat and the biggest fear we have is, it is the disarray on the right. It is the fracturing of the coalition of all the different voices that came together and stopped the neoliberal bullshit liberal economic order machine that was coming out and telling everybody to chop their dicks off and that you had to get fucking injected or get locked in your house. And here we have a coalition resisting and rejecting that. Charlie Kirk dies, and he's not perfect. He loved Israel. Some people don't like that, but he certainly did organize a movement that brought people together, that helped get Trump elected, helped Republicans win, and resisted what the Democratic Party had been doing and these psychopath institutions. I don't want to go back to COVID. Does everybody remember what that was like? When you were locked in your home, you had to wear 2 masks.
So if you're just tuning in, we're watching Tim Pool have a glorious meltdown right now, which I'm fully on board with, by the way. This is amazing. He's called Candace Owens the C word multiple times. He has accused Candace of killing Charlie Kirk. He is telling you that he doesn't want you to thank him for calling this out. He keeps telling you how he doesn't want you to thank him, which tells me that he wants you to continue to thank him. He keeps saying he doesn't want credit for calling this out, which means he wants credit for this. So that's what he's doing. So if you guys want to send super chats here to say thanks, Tim, I will definitely not relay the message at all. But I think that it will help put it out there. You know what I mean?
And you couldn't go anywhere unless they stuck you in the arm. And the only resistance we had was these feckless loser Republicans who've got nothing done over the past year. And now Charlie Kirk was murdered. And we say, holy crap, what do we do? How do we keep things together? And Candace, with a smile on her face, and Ian Carroll and all the rest of them say, Turning Point did it to themselves. They destroyed themselves. Pull your donations because they work for Israel. Even Nick Fuentes calling it out, saying this is psychotic. So when we lose in the midterms and the Democrats bring back their panels and their subpoenas and they start arresting people like they had already done in the past 4 years, and then we get whatever the equivalent of lockdowns is going to be, and you get President Gavin Newsom, you can mark it all back.
I heard him mention it. Ian Carroll's like the worst. I've talked about that before. Like, Ian Carroll is like, it's not surprising to me that people like Ian Carroll out there. It's just what it is. It's shocking to me how many people believe Ian Carroll, how many people believe Candace Owens, how many people believe all of this. But again, as I've said, the anti-Israel side is a great paying job. If you want to make money on the internet, go anti-Israel. If you go Canadian Bear, he's doing the Canadian Bear right now, but go anti-Israel. The anti-Israel crowd, man, they'll be like, oh man, you're so brave for calling this out. Thank you so much for calling this out. Oh my goodness, no one else has the balls to call this out. Thank you so much. For those that don't know, Tim is doing Canadian Bear right now. Right here is a Canadian Bear. Let me find it. Here we go.
Canadian Bear.
Back to this moment when you had evil stand, scream, and cowards refuse to do anything.
Well, with all due respect, always every single president loses in midterms.
And guess
Every
what?
single one.
The prediction markets showed that it was near 50-50 based on the political swing that we had seen. Gen Z, the first generation in 100 years to tick slightly rightward in some areas, not all, but some. And this was a big moment because while they were very similar to millennials, they were slightly more conservative in some areas.
I don't know what it is. This adds a bigger discussion. I don't know what it is about Donald Trump that creates this type of hysteria on both sides. Obviously, Democrats with TDS have their own meltdowns that will be studied for decades and decades. But the people on the right freak out as well over Trump. Like, Trump just makes people lose their fucking mind. So I saw a video from Glenn Beck just a few days ago. Glenn Beck basically was like, for the 100th time, he's like, I was wrong about Trump. I was wrong about Trump, and I feel bad about it. And it made me go like, man, I do remember Glenn Beck kind of going off about Trump in 2016, but how bad was it? And I looked up some of the clips of Glenn Beck from Trump 2016. And Glenn Beck already had, like, he was friends with Trump. Trump was very nice to him. He actually stayed at a Trump hotel the week before Trump announced his run for president. And even after that, when Trump announced, Glenn Beck went off on Trump, like completely went off on him, calling him, a con man and a manipulator and a liar and, womanizer, like all this shit, dude. And of course, again, credit where credit's due to Glenn Beck. It took him a long time, but he finally admitted he was wrong. But that's we saw it with Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro was a never Trumper, and then of course he fully supported Trump once Trump won. And then of course in 2020, Trump turned on Ben Shapiro turned on Trump, and then 2024, Ben Shapiro again was like, oh, I'm going with DeSantis, and then of course DeSantis got destroyed, and then he jumps back on the Trump train. But all of these people, like, they are they need Trump to do every single little thing that they want. And if they don't get every little thing that they want, they just freak the fuck out and they panic and they go crazy. And this is what Tim is doing right now. He's going fucking crazy.
And we saw that in the past couple of years, Gen Z was actually skewing away from LGBTQIA issues. How is this happening? It is not only nor solely, but largely Charlie Kirk and his work with Turning Point. And so Turning Point certainly has its issues, but
listen, no disrespect to Charlie Kirk or Turning Point. I think Turning Point's fantastic. I think Charlie Kirk was amazing. I have a lot more respect for Charlie now than I probably did when he was around, because I just didn't realize, I didn't pay that much attention to Charlie Kirk. But I also think that there is, people are really blowing this out of proportion. This idea that Charlie Kirk was the one man holding the entire movement together. And it's like, the one man holding the movement together is the man in office. His name's Donald Trump. That's the guy holding it together. You take Trump out of the equation, is Charlie Kirk going to get Ted fucking Cruz elevated? Is Charlie Kirk going to get Jeb fucking Bush elevated? Is Charlie Kirk going to get little Marco Rubio elevated back in 2016? No. And this happens when people pass away. It's obviously terrible and it's awful. And the way that Charlie Kirk was assassinated is truly terrible. It's a horrific situation, but let's not just pretend that like we weren't saying that Charlie Kirk was the glue holding the entire conservative movement together when he was alive. He was an important piece to the puzzle. But come on, man. People are like, Charlie was the only one stopping Trump from going to war. And all this is like, what are you talking about? Trump don't listen to nobody but Trump. The fuck are you talking about? Do you seriously think Charlie Kirk was calling Trump and telling, hey, Prez, don't go to war with Iran? What planet are you living on where you think that was happening? It's not fucking happening. Elon Musk couldn't tell Trump what to do. If Elon Musk couldn't tell Trump what to do, what the fuck do you think Charlie Kirk was doing? It's crazy. You know what else is crazy? Willie Will with a $300 super chat and says, thanks, Tim. Hail Snake Pit. Holy crap. Are you kidding me? Wow. Whew. Willie, you've been here, I think, since like day one, if I'm not mistaken. You're a day oneer, right, for CobraCast? Day one. Been here ever since, man. I never miss your profile picture, even when you don't send super chats. Yep, day one. Look at that. Willie Will is a day oneer. Incredible. Thank you so much. I will get to the celebrations here momentarily, but we are kind of rolling. But thank you, Willie freaking Will, for the thanks, Tim super chat. $300 freaking dollars. But back to my point, and again, it's no disrespect to Charlie Kirk. I am not trying to be disrespectful to Charlie Kirk in any way, shape, or form. And I think that over clarifying that is important, because Charlie Kirk's assassination is the worst thing that I have ever witnessed in terms of a public figure losing their life and all of that. Probably like before Charlie Kirk, for me, the worst death of a public figure is Dale Earnhardt. Many of you may not know that name, but I was a huge Dale Earnhardt fan, and Dale Earnhardt dying at the end of the Daytona 500 on the last lap while his son was in second and Michael Waltrip was first. I'm not going to go into the Earnhardt thing, but that was a horrible situation. It was a horrible situation. But this is a whole different level. What Charlie Kirk, like where he was at, what he was doing, the video cameras, the angles, all of that. We're never going to probably see something like this in our lifetime again. Let's hope, pray to the Lord above that we never witness something like this again. But what about Michael Jackson? Well, again, the reason I bring Earnhardt into it is because I was watching the Daytona 500 live as a massive Dale Earnhardt fan. And so I was watching it live when Earnhardt's car hit the wall. I found out when I was in church with my girlfriend that Earnhardt died. My dad showed up to church after, and my dad interrupted church because my dad wasn't there that day. My dad interrupted me in church to tell me Earnhardt had died. And he's like, do you want to come home? I'm like, I want to stay here. I feel like I should be here. So that's why I say, like, Michael Jackson's death was terrible. Kobe Bryant's was terrible, but I was watching the Daytona 500 when Earnhardt hit the wall. I wasn't watching Charlie Kirk live, but I got the notification to my phone, and then you all saw my live reaction to Charlie Kirk, me seeing it for the first time. I saw the distance shot for the first time, but then you go back to my Charlie Kirk live stream and you saw me see the up close shot for the first time. And it was so bad. And I knew right then and there that he was no longer with us. I knew he was no longer with us. And so Anyway, so I say all that to say that there's no disrespect to Charlie Kirk or all of that, but, you know, the reason I bring Earnhardt again, Earnhardt was the guy that was holding NASCAR together. He truly was the guy. He was that guy in life, and he was that guy in death. Charlie Kirk was a pretty important guy in the conservative movement. Okay? Post-death, they're saying that he was the guy in the conservative movement that was holding it all together, and he just was not that guy. He was an important piece, just like many other people are important pieces. But the guy that's holding everything together is sitting in the White House right now, and his name is Donald Trump. So there you have it, okay? So this idea that they continue to push this, I reject that, and I do not think it is helpful. What do you think happened to Earnhardt, DJ Cobra? His seatbelt broke, and he was not wearing a full face mask helmet. He was wearing an open face helmet because he preferred that, and so his seatbelt broke, and the bottom of his skull hit the top of the steering wheel, and it was lights out. It was over. So that's what happened to Earnhardt. Let's hear a little bit more of what Tim has to say.
Literally no reason to burn it to the ground. Unless, of course, it makes you famous and rich, you know? So I guess by all means, my issue right now is
People are shooting at you. That's obviously your
certainly
100%. But we lost Charlie Kirk. You're thinking about, you know, taking off in the sunset. Who we got left? So Charlie's gone.
Candace Owens. Congratulations.
Okay, we got Candace Owens too.
Good. So you can spin around with your dick in your hand while you sound like a retard to the average person, and then Democrats win.
I mean, but you're taking off.
Yeah, you know why? Because people are not.
Let me remind you that Donald Trump had an election stolen from him. Donald Trump had them raid Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump had 4 indictments. Donald Trump had multiple assassination attempts. Donald Trump's family, Donald Trump's business partners were being attacked by the most powerful people in the world. Tim Pool's upset because a podcaster is being mean. So he's ready to leave.
When I get private texts and messages saying like, "Oh yeah, I agree with you, but I would never dare say anything," I'm like, I'm not doing this. You know, my whole life, I have had a disdain for those who demand others work for them. Now, I hold on for a minute. Like
but you're saying your point is that Candace should do what you say. Candace can say whatever she wants, and if people choose to watch her, then that's okay. I mean, I don't get his point.
I understand we all work for each other. I'm saying, I remember when I was younger, I was like, we're in Chicago, I skateboard, but there's nowhere to skate in the winter. So what do we do? Well, holy crap, I figured something out. If 10 of my friends come together and put $100 down every month, we can actually rent a warehouse. And you know what they all said? You do it and then let me know and I'll think about it.
Yep.
And that's the world, and that's what people do. So when people message me saying I wouldn't dare speak up against Candace, I'm just like, oh, fuck off, dude. Coward. But to the people that have started speaking out, calling her out, you know, good. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter in the end. It doesn't really matter in the end. She can say whatever she wants. She can do whatever wackaloon shows she wants. The fact that she put me on her thumbnail today, titled "Who Benefited from Charlie Kirk's Death," whether she's retarded, I don't think she is, or doing it intentionally, it doesn't.
I mean, everybody in this space benefited from Charlie Kirk's death. Let's just be real about that. Like, are we pretending that didn't happen? Like, of course that happened. Everybody. Tim had record viewership numbers. Everybody in this entire space has benefited from it in some capacity.
Matter. The message is clear. You speak up against her, and she will sick people on you. Is that the purpose?
That was
I called her out.
Yeah, absolutely, that was the point. The reason she put you on the thumbnail was because you had the audacity to call her out. It was
and no one else would, and people don't, and so many people don't. Like when Ben Shapiro was on with Megyn Kelly, and Megyn Kelly deferred and then said, well, I don't know, well, and demurred, and then later came out and said, Candace never said that. It's like, you know what, man? she can say every which way a million times, but never directly say it for plausible deniability.
Yep.
As if we're retarded. It's what a stupid world to live in. So listen, it's not just about her. She comes up because she, I guess there it is. She put me on her thumbnail. She's a piece of trash. And
Bro, he is
we have
mad about this thumbnail. I'm changing my. Do I have a Timcast thumbnail? I'm putting my CobraCast thumbnail. Let me find my CobraCast IRL thumbnail. I'ma fucking find it, and I'm changing my thumbnail tonight. Hang on. He's so upset about fucking thumbnails. Let me find it. It may take me a second here. We're doing it. We're doing it. Here it is. Okay, I gotta download this. Okay. I'm very petty. I'm very petty. Yeah, just to get that out of the way. Jeremy, why are you being so petty? Because it's fun. All right, hang on. All right, let's see here. Now I got to download it and then we're going to upload it. So okay, let's see. Boom. Okay. And here's the updated thumbnail in just a second. This is details right here. Change. And boom. All right. So this is what the updated thumbnail looks like right here. So there's your updated thumbnail, the OG CobraCast thumbnail. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are so back. We are so fucking back. Hell yeah. All right.
We have death threats against us consistently. For too long, we don't talk about it. Now, the problem is the one thing we talked about in October was I think we're one of the few shows that actually invites the public to come. Not like literally anyone in the public, but we probably send out address, location 5 times a day to various people who are booking on this show. Well, for that, we are more likely to get doxxed. I don't know how we continue doing a show like this. I don't know how we do it. And that's the conversation we were having earlier. So it's possible the 19th is the last Timcast IRL. I'm not going to stop doing content, but the general thought is if I only do a solo VOD show like I used to before we did IRL, then there's no other guests. There's undisclosed location, and I can do the show from a camper in the middle of the desert
Willie.
with Starlink, if that's the case. Right now, the issue is...
By the way, Willie Will, I see your fucking name. I didn't realize this. You changed it to Willie Will IDOT. Holy crap. I just realized that. That is amazing. Hail to you, brother.
People are coming to our properties, and even property that we had hidden. This is what people don't get. I'll talk to somebody, and the first thing they always say is, "Well, what you got?"
Tim is going on vacation. Okay, somebody just said it in the chat, and I've already said that. The 19th, Tim is going on vacation for Christmas. He'll be back after the first of the year, and everything will continue rolling.
What to do to hide your property? Stop. Do you think we've not done that? We've literally done that for all of our properties, and they still get doxxed. Maybe because it's the feds. I don't know. I don't know how they find some of these locations. We put them in trusts. We put them in LLCs. We put them in other people's names or whatever. And whatever legal means you have to obfuscate. And somehow we get swatted. Somehow people are showing up. Packages are being left on, and it's just, okay. So I don't know how we navigate this, but I will say this. The threat has never been more real. And
now, I've never been to Tim's compound. Okay. Obviously, some of my friends have. If you're that concerned about security, as you should be, by the way, maybe having a place that is so well known by so many different people is not the answer. I'm just saying, like, doesn't that make sense? Doesn't it make sense to go, hey, we're being doxxed. Hey, we're being threatened. Hey, we face security issues. Why not shut that property down, sell it, and move somewhere to a location under an alias and do everything remote? It's like so simple, but he's making it so complicated. That's why I don't know how much I believe what he's doing, what he's saying, in terms of the how scared and nervous he is, because it's a simple solution if it's that serious.
And we had to cancel Booney's skate night. There's no way we can invite 50 to 100 people to come for a big skateboarding event. We can't vet. We can't protect ourselves against targeted drive-by shootings or if this really does escalate to a more serious degree. So I don't know if there is an answer. And this is the plain reality of the country that we are living in right now. I want to go to have a meetup event. We want to say like, hey guys, come hang out with us. This is what we did on Saturday. I have to have a security guard come with me to the bathroom. And I'm not unique in that.
Want to say that one more time, Tim? We'll say that one more time, buddy.
There is an answer. And this is the plain reality of the country that we are living in right now. I want to go to have a meetup event. We want to say like, hey guys, come hang out with us. This is what we did on Saturday. I have to have a security guard come with me to the bathroom. And I'm not unique in that.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
A lot of people live that way. More famous and wealthier people than I. What an insane way to live.
But that's the profession you chose. You
I did-
chose. You worked hard. You became.
Oh! Boom! Whoever this guest is, it's such simple terms. He's like, this is what you chose to do, Tim. No one's forcing you to do this. You're a multimillionaire. Nobody's forcing you. It's literally the easiest job in the fucking world.
Number one, when you're number one at anything, you're going to be a target for a whole bunch of people. It is what it is. This is the society we live in.
Well, you know what the issue is? Back in the day, when you were at this level of political influence, you could afford security. But the issue now is, I would argue that maybe I don't know what number I gave earlier today, but I was like, maybe 80% of the content we produce is not seen on our platforms with our advertisers and our members. It's clipped and redistributed through massive networks, which all make money off the content we produce, and we can't get that money. So we have the influence that reaches 50 million people, and half of them want to murder me, but we don't have the 10 million viewers per night that would afford us the ability to have a secure facility. And you look at Fox News, and they have a big skyscraper in New York. They've got security guards. You can't.
Bullshit. 1000% bullshit what he's saying. Okay. 1000% bullshit. Tim makes, let's just look this up really quick here. Okay. So Tim Pool has, I don't know, how many channels does he have? He's got Tim Pool at 1.47 million. Tim Cast at 1.88 million. Timcast Music at 88,000. Timcast IRL, which is the one we're watching on now, right? Is that what we're watching now? 2.58. So he's got well over, call it 5-6 million subscribers, okay? He's got one of the biggest shows on YouTube every night. He's one of the most super chatted channels. That's not to mention, tell me at this because I don't know, does he monetize his streams? So do you get ads when you watch his streams? So if he monetizes his streams, then that dude is making bank. Because like I've said, I don't turn ads on CobraCast. I haven't for years. Because the people do an amazing job at sending me super chats. So, I mean, I the amount of money that I've missed out on, by the way, I don't want to think about that. But the point is, he's making an ungodly amount of money. That's just on YouTube, by the way. He's got a massive deal with Rumble that he held out for. He's got his memberships on his website that he just he probably makes more money on his website than he makes on any other platform. He's got his coffee. He's got all of his other bullshit. He's got his music. This dude is so fucking rich. So fucking rich. And to say that is hilarious.
Can't even get in that building. You can't get anywhere near those studios, and the glass is probably bulletproof. That's Fox News with carriage fees and big cable networks and, I guess, long-standing position in the market with billions of dollars and probably an endowment that generates money. We don't have that.
Well, listen, just my advice. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I got doxxed. And after I got doxxed and I got swatted, I did two things. Number one, I moved into a high rise with security. Number two, I got to be good friends with the mayor to make sure something like that didn't happen again. So there are options. There are options. Obviously, you're at a whole different level. But listen, if you get a penthouse in some place in Miami, or they say Sunny Isles, or someplace in Florida where you have real top-notch security, like the Porsche Tower in Sunny Isles, you cannot get in that building. It's literally the FBI guarding that building.
That's a good point.
No, it's not a good point. It's a logical, like, if you're in that much danger, then do something about it. That's it.
So if I were you, you work too freaking hard to build what you got to give up. Change locations, adapt or die. Again, you adapt in this world or you die.
This guy. I like
and what
this
I'm
guy.
basically trying to tell you is move to a better location and do this 10 times harder. The people who fucking did this to you say, fuck you. I'm sorry.
So let's nah, you deserve it because I went off too. You know what I mean? We're having fun, right? Let me pull this up from Benny Johnson.
Okay, so let's see. What is he
It's not
talking
just about me? Benny Johnson
Oh,
tweets,
yeah,
this
yeah.
man showed up at my home.
See, man, I want to be clear. I want to be very clear. I am not questioning the official narrative from Timcast IRL. I am not questioning it, okay? I'm not. But hypothetically, Benny, Matt Walsh, and Cat Turd, and a few other prominent content creators were just caught up in this crazy situation where this person was wanting to go to their houses and put all these massive threats against them. Tim wasn't part of that. Now Tim is part of it. Tim is being threatened as well, guys. It's interesting timing.
Where my wife and children live. He was ranting about me and went door to door in my neighborhood trying to find me, terrifying my neighbors. We believe he was armed and fled before the cops arrived. He then explicitly and publicly threatened the lives of Matt Walsh and his wife and children. He recently showed up at Cat Turd's home ranting and raving about me and Matt Walsh and Laura Loomer. Thank you to the FBI and DOJ for investigating these threats and swiftly arresting stalker Andrew Iyer. He was clearly spiraling in a very dangerous way. I don't like to speak publicly about this kind of stuff because it involves my family and their security. I'm sick over it. But I have an obligation to amplify this case as if it is one of multiple ongoing criminal prosecutions for threats against my family. Over the past year, I've watched my president get shot in the head and my friend get assassinated. Things are spiraling wildly out of control. There are real-world consequences for psychotic rhetoric and lies amplified online enough. If you are threatening my family, expect me to fight back with full force. There is nothing I wouldn't do to protect my family. I would gladly die for them. This is good versus evil, darkness versus light. The battle is spiritual. With Christ, we will win. And this man was arrested for...
Very, very scary stuff, man. And so ultimately, I think that a lot less, drama and infighting and more focused on, just supporting President Trump is the way that I know it sounds simple, but it's really more complicated than that. But like my simple approach to this is the more that we support President Trump, the better off America will be. And that's always been my focus, to support President Trump. Simple as that. I have disagreements with Trump. I've had disagreements with the administration, but at no point in time have I ever wavered in my complete and total support of Donald Trump. And that will continue. Tim has been all over the place on where he is on Trump and all of that. And so, none of this is beneficial to the country. None of what's happening is beneficial. And so if Candace is out there saying crazy things, I think that you either take two approaches. You either ignore her or you laugh at her. But when you get angry and when you get emotional, she's got exactly what she wants. It's the classic. It's just the old philosophy. Like, we have a predominantly, not a lot of women watch CobraCast. Shockingly enough, I know you would think with these good looks, we just have all types of women here, but there's a lot of dudes that are watching, and the dudes will understand this. When you're talking to a girl and she has a boyfriend, there's only one way to acknowledge the boyfriend: by calling him the incorrect name. Okay? So if his name is Justin, you call him Johnny. You're like, hey, how's Johnny? She goes, oh, his name is Justin. And you're like, yeah, whatever. It's the most effective way to acknowledge without showing respect. Okay? This is how it's done. So you have two options with Candace. You either ignore or you acknowledge by dismissing and laughing, which is what I've done. I was like, I think it's funny because it is funny. I think what Candace is doing is hilarious. I don't find it to be a threat. I find it to be entertaining. It's WWE. But when you get emotional over it, like Tim has, she wins. Dismiss at all times. So I don't know, man. We're going to move on from the Tim portion of the show, but CobraCast won. That's the most important thing that we have to talk about. So there it is. Call her Candy, says Dan Vask. Exactly. So all right. Shit. What time was I supposed to do gaming tonight with Jay? Okay, never mind. I still got an hour. Okay, got an hour. We're good. I thought I almost was going to leave Drunk 3PO hanging on the video game stream, but we got another hour, so we're not going anywhere. Again, Willie Will, thank you. Insane $300 super chat from Willie freaking Will. It says, thanks, Tim. Hail the snake pit. There it is. Nandy says, thanks, Tim, with a 50. Thank you. What are you going to play? I'll be honest. I got really self-conscious. I don't want people, calling me names on the internet. And so I decided I wanted to play a game that no one would make fun of me over. So I'm going to play the most alpha male video game that I could find. And that would be Fortnite. So there you have it. I get very insecure when people make fun of me on the internet. So I'm going to play the alpha male game of our time, Fortnite. Nobody makes fun of Fortnite. Everybody says, dude, you are an alpha giga chad if you play Fortnite. I'm like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. So yeah, I heard like Hayden Wayne the other day. He was like, I'm convinced Jeremy only knows how to play Fortnite and Mario Kart. I'm like, I've played Battlefront, Battlefield, The Finals, Titanfall 2, Titanfall 1, Halo. I've played multiple Call of Duty games. I've played Party Animals. I've played Among Us. Played more games than I can fucking count. But Fortnite is awesome. So, let's see. Play Counter-Strike with Mo. Who's Mo? I don't know anybody named Mo. Played Animal Crossing on stream like a true alpha male. Absolutely. Played Mario Golf and Mario Party. Cobra Cow connection. All right, let's see where we're at here. Thank you guys so much for being patient. It's been a long stream. Let's see here. Professor Madlad says, here's $10 for the victory. Let's freaking go. Thank you. Let's see here. John for 15 says, my concern is that he mentions this and keeps talking about it. Why give the bad guys press or let them know you were disturbed by their actions? That's my theory on it. All the Mo Kisses says, forgot to mute tax. Forgot to mute. It happens every time. I've got to stop with that forgetting to mute. I'm gonna get exposed. We're gonna go full DSP if I keep doing that. Can't do that, man. GB Baylor says, here is a WWE arena audience. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. Clap, clap. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim. Look at that. See, Tim, you're getting all the support in my chat. My whole chat loves you, Tim. They all love you. Let's see. Captain JP says, what really happened to Dale Sr. was his neck snapped forward from the collision, which led to the NASCAR using the Hans device full time. Even if he wore a full face helmet, he would have still been dead. That is correct, but it would have still, like, the Hans device that went into effect, was it the very next week at Rockingham? I can't remember if it was the very next week, but the Hans device became mandatory under for NASCAR after that, for sure. Brittany for 20 says, just watched an old podcast of yours. Only Jay can make watching Fuentes and Candace hilarious. Way to be. And God bless and keep the 199ers. Look at that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I did react earlier to Fuentes on Piers Morgan, and over there on D-Day Cobra 2. That video is doing really well over here. So I had the D-Day Cobra 2. This is the channel we clip out all of my stuff from CobraCast, and we re-upload it over here. The Fuentes reaction is doing really well. Everybody's talking about that right now. It's kind of gone crazy. I've got a few clips to show here in a bit, but yeah, that is the talk of the internet right now. I think it was obviously Piers was not in this for, like, okay, this is just a clip of it right here. Okay. Like, listen to this.
Just to clear up one of the many theories about you, I've no idea what the answer is and you haven't got to answer. But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
Why did he pause? Why did he pause? Why would you pause on that? I'm just saying.
I've no idea what the answer is and you haven't got to answer. But are you actually attracted to women?
I am attracted to women.
You're not gay?
No. But I will say that women are very difficult to be around.
Okay.
So there's that.
And do you think they should have the right to vote?
I do not. No, absolutely not.
They should stay at home?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
See, basically, you're just a misogynist old dinosaur, aren't you? For a young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm the boomer. I know I'm the boomer here, but actually, you're a 27-year-old dinosaur, aren't you? Aren't you, Nick Fuentes? All women.
I am.
All women are annoying. All women grow old. They all get fat. Says the guy. Have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. Says the guy who's never got laid.
Woo, man. So yeah, the show got spicy. It was pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy stuff. Right here. Hang on. There was what is this? So is this one? What is this one?
Would you like to clarify what you meant there?
That's all true. That's 100% true.
Oh, yeah.
Everything I said in that clip is true.
Including that blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so good, dude.
At the SPLC, they're literally counting down the days until whites are a minority in America. So forgive me if I don't believe them when they talk about compassion. There's a genocide going on right now. It's not against the Jews.
How many Christians are there?
In Gaza, it's against
How many
whites.
Christians are there in the world? Like me and
One
you.
point some billion,
Yeah,
2 billion.
How
I don't
many,
know.
how many Jews are there?
15 million.
Okay. So with a straight face, you're going to tell me the world is being overrun by the Jewry, by 15 million people, when there are over 1 billion Christians. There is a genocide of Christians like poor old Nick Fuentes going on at the hands of these 15 million Jews. Really?
See, this attitude is why you're losing. When you say
Who am I
poor old
losing
white
to?
people,
Who
these
am I
poor
losing
old
to?
white people.
Who am I losing?
Mass migration. You're losing to me. We are losing as a civilization of mass migration. At the SPLC, they're literally.
I knew that this was going to be bad for Piers. There was no way, because Piers is going into this bad faith. And I think, again, I'm no expert on Fuentes, but like I like watching Fuentes when he talks to other people. I like watching him on Patrick Bet David. I liked when he was on with Crowder. I think he is very articulate and very interesting when he's on with other people. And, you know, as long as he feels, at least this is from my experience, as long as he feels that somebody is talking to him in good faith, then he's going to have a good faith conversation. Piers was all about gotcha. It's all about, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And as soon as Fuentes kind of realized that's what it was, the over-the-top sarcasm sets in, which is, I think, the right attitude to have. Like, if someone is going to come in there with the intent to just pull gotchas, then you should absolutely just respond with over-the-top sarcasm. I highly respect that, actually. And that's essentially what happened with this. Piers was not there. Like, if you watch Patrick Bet David's conversations, it was a person that was interested to learn about Nick. Who are you? Why do you have such a following? What made you, led you down the path that you're on? At one point in time, Piers brings up his, his dad and his upbringing and all of that. And he's trying to tie in like, oh, your dad was racist. So this is how, it was clear that this was not in good faith. So I'm not surprised by how this all played out at all. This is exactly what I expected it to be. I mean, look at this right here. This is Piers Morgan Uncensored. Yeah, I'm fine with being racist. That's the quote that Piers puts. And this is the lead in, I guess, right here.
New generation of white person. I'm not living around blacks. Sorry. I want white kids, and I don't want my white kids bringing home black people to marry. It's racial for me. And call me racist. Oh, very Christian of you. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, it couldn't be clearer, really, unless you want to say that's another of your jokes. But you're basically saying, yeah, I'm a racist, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You're fine with saying you're a racist?
Totally. I think everybody's racist. I think everybody, if we're being honest, is racist. I think everybody, the only people that aren't racist or pretend not to be are white people to their detriment. Everybody else is racist.
But you earlier in the interview, you really got aggrieved at the idea that your father was a racist. You wanted to make emphatically
because
sure
my father's.
He's not.
Because my father doesn't share my same views on that.
So he's the exception to the everyone's a racist.
Well, everybody's a little bit racist. You're right. So maybe everybody. The difference is you're attacking my father. He could get fired from his job.
I'm not attacking your father.
You are.
No, I'm not. I don't know your father. And to be clear, I have no knowledge about him at all. Well,
then let's leave him out of it. Let's leave him out of it if you don't know him.
Hang on, Nick. You put that story into the public domain on your show. I'm simply reminding you of what you told everybody, millions of people, about your father.
Piers comes off looking really petty and really bad. And here's the thing is, like, if pettiness is your brand, that's fine. Nick is very petty. So Nick being petty is right. Like, that's exactly what people expect. Piers comes off as a petty person that tries to present himself as I'm better than you. I am more respectable than you, blah, blah, blah. Like, it really comes off as really bad.
If you now want to retract it, fine. If you want to say it was a joke, which is what your position was earlier, fine. But I'm allowed to put to you things you've said publicly. That's not unfair.
So that's the gist of what this all was for the most part. Right here.
Hitler was a pedophile and kind of a pagan. It's like, well, he was also really fucking cool. So, time to grow up. We're not children anymore. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right, boys? Am I right? Let's go. He was also really fucking cool.
Do you regret saying that?
Saying a fact? No, that's absolutely true.
You think Hitler was very fucking cool?
Yes, I do.
One of them.
And I'm tired of pretending he's not.
Well,
to be honest,
this is the problem, you see. It's a bit like when you just say, I'm a racist. You're a racist, you think Hitler's cool, but you're not anti-Semitic. If you're a Jewish person watching this, what are they thinking? I'll tell you what they're thinking, because I've got a friend of mine called Danny Finkelstein, who, when he heard I was interviewing you, he's a Times journalist in the UK, very eminent journalist here, and author, who wrote a book about his own family's experiences at the hands of Hitler and Stalin, because he also told Tucker Carlson that you admire Stalin. But let's just take what Danny said here.
Hi, Piers. It's Danny Finkelstein here. Is your interview?
He talked about the Stalin thing with Crowder. Crowder brought up a good point too about, like, Fuentes says these one-liners because he knows that it'll get people talking, and then he gets an opportunity to clarify it, and he will clarify with a much more articulate point when asked about it. And so, and Piers, again, is not really interested in a conversation.
Viewing Nick Fuentes, you might try suggesting to him that he reads my book, Hitler, Stalin, Mum and Dad. It's called Two Roads Home in the United States. Since he says he's on Team Hitler, you might like to ask him about the fact that Hitler arrested my mum, tried to starve my mum to death, did starve my grandmother to death.
While Fuentes, I'm in the chat, while Fuentes can make some good points, normies will see this and think he's vile. Absolutely. That's why I just laugh at it. I think he's funny. I genuinely, like, I think that, I don't think Candace Owens is funny, but I think what Candace is doing and the desperation is funny. I think Nick Fuentes is genuinely funny.
Death, sent my great aunt to the gas chamber, my great uncle, my cousin. My grandmother on my father's side ended up being one out of 7 children, the only one that survived the war. So you might ask him whether he wouldn't rather be on Team Mum rather than Team Hitler. And as for celebrating Stalin's birthday, well, Stalin took my father, sent him to a state collective farm, sent my grandmother and to a state collective farm, sent my grandfather to the Gulag. You might try asking him why he doesn't celebrate Dad's birthday rather than Stalin's. It may all be a big joke to him, but he complains that he was 18 when someone tried to cancel him. Well, Stalin and Hitler arrested my mum and my dad when they were 10 years old. So perhaps he might like to reconsider his joke.
See, that's the reality of your jokes, although I haven't ascertained yet whether you are joking when you say that Hitler was very fucking cool. Are you joking, or do you actually think he was very fucking cool? The most genocidal monster of the last 150 years?
Yeah, the thing is, my generation, we're just done with the pearl clutching. You know,
yeah, you might be, but then your generation hasn't gone through what Danny Finkelstein's family went through. So maybe the pearl clutching has a way to go for families whose family members
oh my gosh,
were murdered.
Yeah, we got all that. We, you know, me mom, like we're, you know, I don't even know who this person is. Why is this person talking to me? This old British guy is saying me mom got killed by Hitler.
Because he doesn't find it funny when you say Hitler's very fucking cool.
I don't care.
He finds
I don't care.
I know you don't care. That's fine. You don't have to care. But he does care.
That's exactly it. Like, that is a liberal leftist mindset. Something bad happened in my life, therefore you, who have no knowledge of me or my life, can't make jokes about something that you have no idea about that are connected to me. But because I am offended by some random thing that you say, you have to be offended for me, even though you know nothing of me. It's crazy. Fuentes' response is perfect. Don't care. Why the fuck should I care? Are you going to care about things that I find that are hurtful? Like, are we going to talk about my childhood trauma? Are we going to talk about when my G.I. Joes got stolen from me? Am I supposed to pour my heart out to you and tell you about the time that I lost my DC Comics action figures and I was traumatized for weeks? Are you supposed to fucking care? Fuck. It's just like, who gives a fuck? It's identity politics. Nobody cares. I don't want to talk about what happened with my G.I. Joes. There's a black kid at school and stole all of them. His name was Tyrone. He called me Cracker. I don't want to talk about it, though. Let's move on. Anyway, anyway, all right. We have this again, going back to my initial thoughts on this. Now, Asmongold, now we're going to do what we normally do. We're going to react to Asmongold reacting to Piers Morgan and Nick Fuentes. No, it wasn't Tyrone Magnus. Tyrone Magnus is cool. I have a black friend. Here we go.
You think Hitler was very fucking cool?
Yes, I do.
One of them.
And I'm tired of pretending he's not.
Well,
to be honest,
this is the problem, you see. It's a bit like when you just say, I'm a racist. You're a racist who thinks Hitler's cool, but you're not anti-Semitic. If you're a Jewish person watching this, what are they thinking? You think...
Bro, we didn't shift the Overton window. We burned down the house. We burned down the whole motherfucking neighborhood. Oh my God. This is crazy. This is nuts. I saw another clip about this too with no insurance. Yes, and no survivors. And all or nothing. No. There was another clip about this too. Here we go.
This is where you talk about Jews, women, and blacks.
I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it.
Just take a listen.
They're always coming up with, no, it's not the Jews. No, it's not women. No, it's not blacks. It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the fuck up. Blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part. Mm-hmm. And we would live in paradise. It's that simple.
Man.
Okay.
He's just nodding.
Would you like to clarify what you meant there?
That's all true.
The old media technique of shaming people doesn't work.
Nobody cares
when they're not ashamed.
And listen, man, like, I think that I'm just giving my opinion on this, but I think that if Nick is on with someone who is genuinely trying to ask him in good faith, he will offer the clarification of what he was doing or whatever. Piers has not given that indication. Therefore, Nick is in full sarcastic mode, which is absolutely the way to handle it.
The entire shame apparatus has failed. It's fallen apart. It doesn't work anymore.
That's 100% true. Everything I said in that clip is true.
Including that blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part.
Yeah. Yes.
This is where you talk about...
the way he says it.
Blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wow. So we're already... Jesus, guys. So we're already in a whole different world now. We are all the way in a different world. And he's okay with women shutting up. I mean, Piers is okay with women shutting up. I think a lot of guys are.
I mean, yeah. Legalize adulthood with a proper 199. IDOT Defense Force Unit 199 checking in. Dave Rubin called. He said that bending his Johnson is 100% gay. I had to explain to him that it was Benny Johnson, not bending his Johnson. He's so fixated at times that he doesn't hear things correctly. Hail the 199. Bending his Johnson. Oh boy. And 20 gifted memberships to follow. Hail to you. Yeah, I mean, look, this is the result of what Nick is doing, what many people are doing. Like this IDOT Defense Force, IDF. Like we have our own IDF now, the Mossad stuff, Jeremy's getting $7,000 checks. Like all of that is memeing on people that make accusations. It's like, yeah, okay, fine. I'm paid by Israel. Who cares? Like if that's what you want to believe, go for it. We'll just meme on it. This is the new mentality of people, is to not care what anyone thinks. And if someone is emotionally tied to that, then let them be offended. It doesn't matter to me. Someone says that I cut my hair. No. See? It's still there. It's still there. Just wearing these headphones, that's all. So no one gives a fuck. And that's where Nick is right now. And he has been for a long time.
So the gloves are off. Yeah. And the thing is, bro, when we watch, maybe tomorrow, maybe we watch, it's 2 hours. I'll probably watch, I'll half and half it, right? I'll half and half it. We'll have an intermission, but we will watch it over the next 2 days. I think that's a good idea. But the thing is, like, here's my thing is that I almost don't even want to watch the interview on stream, because it's like, how do you react to something like this on Twitch?
What do you mean? What do you mean, Asman? Why wouldn't you want to react to this?
So how do they feel when you say you just want to be away from any black people, walk away from them?
Well, you know what Ye told me? I'll tell you verbatim what he said. He said, so you use the N-word. I said, yeah. He goes, well, when niggas are being niggas. I said, so true. That's so true. So they feel like they're in complete agreement with me.
What does that mean?
It means that even black people know how black people can behave. Even black people understand it.
It's like, am I even allowed to react to something like this on Twitch? Because I think about it, and it's like, maybe not. Maybe not. You'll find a way. I mean, maybe. Laugh inside. I mean, will you get banned? I mean, it's a pretty big one, right? It is a big one. And so the Kick only stream. So we could do a exclusive Kick racism stream. That's big. That'd be real big.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
Hell yeah.
So that'd be it. No, honestly, like if they did that, just do 30 minutes a day and milk it for the whole week. Well, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe I have to do that instead. Does San watch it? Well, I don't know. I mean, it's like, the thing is that the way that I talk about this stuff is problematic, because I talk about it in, like, I just say what I think. Like, I don't try to, have a certain type of vibe or try to, put myself in a position where it sounds a certain way.
And that is why Asmongold is so successful, because listen, man, a lot of people get audience captured. A lot of people get scared to have genuine opinions, and that's just the truth. I cover so many different things. And it's gotten to the point where I cover so much shit. I cover entertainment. I cover movies. I cover video games. I cover theme parks. I cover sports. We cover all this shit. I cover politics. And like people keep talking about like, oh, the political world is so divisive. I'm like, everything's divisive. Everything. Like right now, I'm excited for The Odyssey from Christopher Nolan. I'm massively excited. Do I have problems with the casting? Yes. Look what the chat's about to do to me because I said I'm excited about The Odyssey. The fucking chat's about to tell me it's a woke piece of shit. Nolan's lost his way. You're a dumb motherfucker for supporting that. I can't believe you're excited. That's what the internet does. It doesn't change the fact that I want to fucking see it, and I'm going to be there day fucking one. But this is how the internet works. Everybody is divided. Everybody is upset about something. This is how it is. Everybody's scared of people going off on them or whatever. I'm not. I'm about to go play Fortnite. Guess what the chat's going to say? Fuck Fortnite. Fortnite sucks. Fortnite, blah, 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 blah. This is the way it is. You can't be scared to give your honest opinions. This is why Asmongold is so successful. So, yeah, this is cool. This is good to see, Nick on with Piers and the reaction that's been going on. It's been hilarious. So, we'll see how the rest of this plays out. But apparently Steven Crowder is going to go on with, here it is right here. Crowder is going to go on with Piers Morgan to discuss this, because here's Crowder reacting to it. Now we're going to react to Crowder reacting to it, because this is how the internet works.
That's all true. That's 100% true. Everything I said in that clip is true.
Including that blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part.
Yeah. Yes.
But all of them?
He didn't say all of them.
No, for the most part.
What does the most part mean? What percentage of American blacks would you like to see in prison?
Whatever the percentages of the murderers. I think it's 1 in 20 black men will commit a murder in their lifetime. So maybe
they're valid answers.
5%.
Oh, so you're talking about black people who murder people?
Criminals.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But you didn't say that.
That's
You
the
just said
crime problem.
blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part. You didn't clarify that you were talking about black murderers.
Right. No, you're right. That's a good addition to that. That's a great point. Yeah, I do. I think it's hilarious. I think it's totally true.
Do you think a black American would find it funny? You think that black...
And I will, every time I bring up Crowder on stream, I feel an obligation to say that I was wrong about Steven Crowder. I was very critical of Steven Crowder. Not that I watched him, and I still find his comedy to be cringe as fuck. But Crowder seems to be one of the most genuine people in the entire conservative movement. He genuinely seems like the guy, because he's been here forever. I was wrong about Crowder. I have no problem admitting that.
Should be imprisoned for the most part?
Blacks are my biggest fans. I get high fives all the time. They say, Nick Fuentes, I love your show. They agree with me. And you want to know why? Here's the difference. Black people are the most victimized by other black people. You think black people want to live in the hood and the ghetto and get shot all the time? That's what happens in the south side of Chicago. You should come here. I'll take you there. We could go to Garfield Park.
My son went to Chicago University for a year, actually, several years ago.
Good irrelevant fact.
That's a bubble. You think you're in Chicago and Hyde Park? You don't know.
Yeah, I like how Pierce is like, yeah, I have some experience at this really, really upscale white university. I know all about. Hello, fellow Chicagoans. How do you do, fellow Chicagoans? I know all about Chicago. What?
No, Chicago. Go a little bit west. See what it's like over there. And I'll tell you, black people agree with me because they're tired of it too. And maybe not most of them, but a lot of them agree with what I say about
Here's
that because
the thing too,
they know how it is.
Pierce is Nick knows that that's going to be taken.
Right.
And then it's going to give him an opportunity to clarify.
Correct.
And it's going to seem so straightforward, so self-evident that I'm not saying just imprison random black people. It was in the context of crime, right? He knows that, and he's hoping for that opportunity. That's why he does. That's what a lot of people do, right? You have the bumper sticker, and then you have the full show. There are some other areas where that's why we wanted to play the clips, not 4 seconds, but in context,
the full ones,
so that we could actually get to. And
so it says, why was it only a year, Piers? Why was it only a year? Where's the trigger?
Figure out if there was there were a few times where Nick said, well, you know what, I didn't mean it that way. I would take that back.
Yeah.
He wouldn't take that back. And by the way, he doesn't need to take that back. That's not one of those comments he needs to take back when you take it in context. There are some where we see actual difference. The problem is Pierce is a liberal at heart. He is a leftist at heart. And so he's playing identity politics with a guy who has already rejected it. And so is his fan base. And so when people say, oh, you're going to, well, yeah, this is the kind of interview that amplifies him because one person seems sensible and it's not Pierce Morgan.
Yep. Well said from Crowder. So apparently Crowder is going to be on with Piers. So I guess that's happening Thursday. So that'll be an interesting conversation. But ultimately, the bottom line here is this. If you don't like Nick Fuentes, which is totally fine, the only thing that happens when they bring Fuentes on these shows is that it makes Fuentes more popular. He's not losing support when he goes on these shows. He's gaining a massive amount of support by doing these things. Piers was intent was to try to make him look bad and to try to expose him. I'm sorry, but there was one person that benefited from these clips, and it's not Piers. Now, yeah, I mean, Piers will, get his views or whatever, but Fuentes will benefit substantially from all of this. Big time. So, Brittany says, D-Day, there are women who watch this. I'm a woman pushing 60 and love it. Actually, when your mom throws you out, I'd consider adopting you. Probably not, though. So here's 20. Isn't that nice? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hail to you and the 5% female audience that we have around here. David Phillips says, Jeremy, you should have seen Crowder talking about Cinnabon Girl. He said, I haven't heard that since D-Generation X. I spit out my coffee. This whole Cinnabon story has completely missed my radar, so I got to look into this. Epically, Eddie says, best cast on the internet, at the very least, not the worst. That's really nice. Thank you. Do you know how nice this is? Best cast on the internet, at the very least, not the worst. Very nice. Swirly BS says, for those wondering, I slept like a baby on the couch. I hate defending Nick, but don't make it personal. And Tim is as bad as Candace. Was because of the $100 super chat? Is that why? Come on, man. Sorry to hear that, brother. Sorry. Marmilla says, leave it appears to get me to enjoy Nick Fuentes. The interview and the debate was absolutely garbage, and it only proved Nick right. David Phillips says, Nick for president for $10. Nandy for 20 says, speaking of boyfriends, how is Adam Sandler's finger these days? Adam Sandler's finger? You mean Alec Baldwin's finger? Not Adam Sandler. Is this going to be a new meme? Jess, have you seen this one, Jess? Jess? Adam Sandler's finger now. ASF. A new meme is born, Jess. A new meme is born. She said she's going to tell him now. That was good. That was good. Let's see here. Where are we at? TJ says, every time you put Joy Reid and Candace or MTG, I wish you would end up with shut up, silly woman clip. I hear that in my head every time they speak. Jared Armstrong says, did Adam Krigler win too? I saw Krigler calling Tim Pool out, saying, this is bullshit. You're not quitting. Master of None for the 199. Thank you. Solo Felix says, Yellow Flash Tug were guests on the first CobraCast. Yes, they were. Southeastern Kaiju says, Jack Murphy beard tax. Jared Armstrong says, Tim made a joke on Thursday that Germans were out to kill him. Vault 95 says, Timmy threatens to end his show for sympathy money. Is that what I got to do? Should I threaten to end CobraCast? You know what? At the end of this stream, it's going to be the last stream unless I get super chats. Is that how you do it, Tim? Is that how we do it? When this stream ends, it's going to be the last stream potentially, and then I'll start the next one up. I'm like, well, we had a big meeting and we decided, we're not going to end it. So, Ministry of Wrong Things says it doesn't make sense anyways. The people who want to hurt him wouldn't stop just because his show is done if they know where he lives. Like, come on. It doesn't make sense. Comics Dad says to help narrow the gap. You're a good fig. Look at that. Newerist says, I'd rather hear Tim's fake tough guy routine than his fake victim routine. When he cries like that, it's just grating. I kind of agree. Slain Hope says, Tim Pool brings out the Candace Owens and Jeremy. Philip Butler says, I saw a guy with what is this? The yarmulke Masada from Jeremy. John says, no one outgrifts the mage Idot. I salute you, sir. Thank you. Kremlin says, how dare you grift? Minister of Front says, dude, some ordinary gamer thumbnail from this morning's video. The crazy part is it's not clickbait. Seriously. What is it? I don't watch some ordinary gamer. NS says, Tim is losing it over Candace right now. East Coast Boy says, wait, did you cut your hair now? No, I didn't. It's still here. We're still good. Don't worry. We're good. Paul Davey says, I didn't mute in time and I heard everything. Sorry, Jeremy. Guys, if I asked you to mute me so that I can say something to one specific person, I'm going to need you guys to respect the rules, okay? So let's make sure in the future, if I have to address someone one-on-one in the chat and I ask everybody to mute, you're all going to have to mute. That's just the way it works, okay? It's just the way it works. So, Slain Hope says, you're no grifter. If you were, you'd have CobraCast skateboards. Super Sentai guy says, Tim Pool is a joke. I get it's a serious thing that happened, but he cries wolf all the fucking time. He does. Average Potato Farmer with $1. D-Day Cobra with 2 Ys with $1. Sergio says, if doesn't matter what you think. Daniel Moore says, Daniel Moore. Marlon Sebo says, Jeremy, did you just call yourself the N-word? Are you a Nintendo fan? God help us. If I did accidentally drop the N-word, I apologize to everyone involved. That was not my intent, and I do apologize, and I hope that you will forgive me. I did not know that I did that. So I've never said it before. And I will do my best to make sure that it's never said again in history. I apologize to my friends, my family, and to everyone else. The only time I've ever said that N-word is in traffic. Like every time I drive. But outside of that, no. Just only when I drive and play video games. That's it. So Slain Hope says, taking Milo seriously is like going to a vegan restaurant for a good hamburger. Also, Milo dropping fig bombs. Now Tim's dropping F-bombs. PG no more. Eddie says, I live for a Beanie Shapiro crash out. Tired Retro Gamer says, the average American voter doesn't care about any of these idiots. Lord Botha says, isn't Tim the same guy who said Brittany Venti was paid by a PR firm to make him look bad over Eliza Blue? I vaguely remember that. I don't remember if it was Brittany Venti or not. I vaguely remember that. Daniel Moore Business says, so many tars in the chat agree with Candace. Slain Hope says, Tim's kryptonite is drama. He should have laid low. Andrew Sarah says, beanie tax. Little Jim Salo says, thanks. Thank you, Timmy Smollett. Captain JP says, thank you, Tim. Southeastern Kaiju says, the left wigged out over Reagan. Same energy. Bob says, I'll thank you for the heads up on Eliza Blue and been watching CobraCast and Geeks and Gamers since, even if you're a fig. Look at that. That's nice. There's Willie Will's $300. $300. Thanking Tim. Daniel Moore says he brought young people into the conservatism like me, talking about Charlie. I agree. I'm not dismissing his impact at all. Midnight Light says Earnhardt Jr. stepmom killed his dad's company. Teresa Earnhardt. Yes, she did. Grindo Drum says, is Actman gay? I don't know. Midnight Light says, should we be worried about Trump should we be worried about Trump is not prez? I don't know exactly what you're asking me. Like afterwards, we definitely should be worried about that. Daniel Moore says he's upset because he's being shot at, actually. Godzilla's Christian says, I doubt most people, even among conservatives, have any awareness of this right civil war. Southeastern Kaiju says, who filled Rush's shoes more than Charlie? No one. I don't recall anyone calling Charlie Kirk the new Rush Limbaugh when he was alive. I don't recall that at all. I don't think anybody has truly filled Rush's shoes, but I don't recall people saying Charlie Kirk was a new Rush Limbaugh. I just don't remember that. Fantastic Knox says, what Tim just said sounds quite fruity, ain't it? Slain Hope says, Tim acts like a dad going through alimony payments. Daniel Morris says, love you, Jeremy, but you blindly hate him clearly. Tim? No, not at all, man. I'm a huge fan. I buy my cast brew coffee and everything, man. I'm a huge fan. Vault 95 says, Timmy already admitted to making 8 figures a year. Andrew says, next thing we know is that Tim loves spending money on WWE champions and has gout. Vault 95 says, Tim monetizes his stream more ads than Daily Wire. Penelope Page says, Tim is worth $10 million. Damn, must be nice. David Phillips says, oh no, how dare you put some respect on that name, you lonesome stranger. Look at that, David Phillips. Hail to you. Liberty Prime says December 10th is D-Day for us Aussies with social media age verification laws coming in. So if I get ID requests, I won't be complying. And well, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It was fun. Dude, well, I hope we continue to see you, brother. I prayers up for you guys. Hopefully it all works out. Sorry to hear that, man. Slain Hope says you forgot about Timmy's crippling gambling addiction. Is that a thing? I wasn't even aware of that. Is that really a thing? Miniature Vontek says, real talk, just get a penthouse in Miami and get to know the mayor. Applies to a pretty niche group. Daniel Moore says, the government are looking for Tim Cash Shooter. Stop making up retarded conspiracy theories. All this does is further fracture the movement over nothing. No. Daniel Moore says, won't be hilarious when she loses 2028 for the GOP. Who? If Candace Owens has the ability to lose the midterms and the 2028 election for the Republicans, then we never had a fucking chance to begin with, okay? If your house is built of cards, then it will fall. So, first of all, Candace has no power whatsoever to destroy the midterms or 2028. Do you know who does? Donald Trump. Donald Trump has the power. Candace has no power. None. And the fact that anybody believes that she has the power to do that is crazy to me. She has the power to troll, which is she's doing a great job of that right now. But she doesn't have the power to influence a fucking election. Andrew Sarah says, I hear that Don carries your sorry ass in gay night. Get good mofo. Taker says, if Jeremy was on Stranger Things, he would have a superpower for reasons I won't say, so Jeremy won't sue chat for defamation. Daniel Moore says, there's a delay. Storm Shadow says, Fuentes looks like Beardo without a beard. Grando Drum says, stolen G.I. Joe tax. Ladybug says, who the F is Adam Sandler's finger? There will be an account soon. I promise you that. Mayhem Bear says, don't you do it. Wizard Man says, where's the pigtails at? A super was sent, right? I haven't gotten it yet. I'm supposed to have to determine after he sends that amount to find out if it's worth me wearing pigtails. Just saying. I can't believe I've even repeating that, by the way. Loosh Libs says, thanks for the fun stream tonight. I needed the good laughs. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Glad you guys enjoyed it. There's Legalize Adulthood's Proper 199. You know what? We haven't celebrated. We have not celebrated properly tonight. So we have to celebrate the only way we know how. And that is with Sydney Sweeney, everyone. We like to celebrate with Sydney Sweeney. Everyone likes to celebrate with Sydney Sweeney. I like to celebrate with Sydney Sweeney. You like to celebrate. We all like to celebrate.
Should I do it?
Do not come.
Come on, baby. Come on. I'm gonna do it.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come. Beautiful white paint. It's coming down at 10,000 miles an hour. It's coming down at levels of speed that nobody ever even conceived of. Where it's rough, but it's coming, and now it's turned around. It turns around, and it's coming, and it's gonna. I said, oh, because you see at that bottom, this section right here, that sucker's. Oh. Should I do it?
All right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Legalized Adulthood also dropped 20 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Newer Est says, bring back the beer to shame. Fantastic segment. Master of Nuts says, check your DMs. I sent you a message. Blacklight96. Thank you. Rye Bread says, been here almost 2 years. Better investment than Pim Stool. Mad Frog says, imagine a Nintendo fan that's also a Disney adult and a plus-size park hopper. I'm almost there. The Willie Bot says, thanks, Tim. Epic Reader says, crazy CobraCast tonight. Hail the 199. Epically Eddie says, I'm not sure how long 35 months is because I'm an IDOT, but it feels too long. Hail to the 199 iBots and IDOTs. Let's go. By the way, how many of you, I'm just curious about this. We have about 2,300 people, and I genuinely like that. Will help me make a business decision. Okay. How many of you are interested in a IDOT plushie? Okay. How many would actually consider an IDOT plushie? Serious inquiries only. Okay. If we had one, because we got to sell like several hundred of these things in order for it to be a profitable deal. So how many of you, an IDOT plushie? Just yes or no is all I need. And it's seriously to know if, anybody's interested. So D-Day Cobra with 2 Ys, almost 10. Yep, we're almost there. Brian Stewart says, wash your hair properly. You don't want whatever that is. I don't know what that is. But I have listened to some of the ladies, and I got to say my hair looks a lot different now that I'm washing it the proper way. And by the way, if you're not interested, I have it personally guaranteed that it will help you get laid by all the hot ladies. Okay. All the hot ladies. Just saying. Epically Eddie says, oh, I got that one. P-Dubs says, sorry about your G.I. Joes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mafty says, Nick just gained a ton of my respect. I don't agree with him or Trump or JD, but he handled Pierce brilliantly. Swirly BS says, my wife raised 3 kids while I work pipeline and spend our money on a fig. She should put me in the doghouse. I respect that so damn much. Hail to you and to her. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. You're cool if you buy merch from Jeremy. See there? Ladybug's letting you know that the ladies like the IDOT stuff. Okay. They like the IDOT merch. That's the way you have to do it. Okay. That's how it's done. So, let's see. Jeremy Cologne. No, I'm going to pass. Coopster says, disappointed you didn't cover just shaming a reporter today. It was great. You also missed my earlier super chat again. And then JJ for 20 says, since I know you like to grift, do super chats count more than one single vote? This super chat counts a 5% yes. Okay, hang on a minute. Since I know you like to grift, do super chats count more than one single vote? This super chat counts for 5% yes. I see what you're saying. Okay. I will take that into consideration. Right now, I've got, out of 326 votes, I've got a 55%. So we're closing in on what, about 150, a little over 150, 160 yeses. I need to be, I'll just tell you the number I have to be at to be comfortable to pull the trigger on this is I need to sell 500 plushies. If we can sell 500, because that's the minimum amount that they want me to order. So I have to purchase those. So then we're going to be stuck with the inventory until we sell 500 of them. That's really what it comes down to. So I got to sell 500 of these plushies in order to make the whole deal work for us. So, which we've sold, like the Canadian Bear one, we sold quite a few on those. So I think we could probably move 500. I think we can move 500. So, I'll let that run for a few more minutes, but thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, there was some Trump stuff. I'll cover the Trump stuff tomorrow. There's just been so much to cover. We did 2 streams today. But we're getting ready to go live on D-Day Cobra Gaming. If you guys want to hang out with us over there while we play some Fortnite. So you already see the chat. Jeremy's 100% going to be late. So you see people are already calling me out over there. We're almost at 8,000 subscribers over there on that channel. Really happy about that. So you got 200 sales so far, it looks. Yes, it's you know, it's not scientific, but it does give me a good gauge on that. So Jessica, if you could screenshot that poll so we can send that to Tommy so we can determine if, and this is just one. I mean, we're going to do it on Tuesday's main event and a couple other streams just to see how many people are overall interested. JJ says, I'm more than 24 hours sleep deprived. Go ahead and judge my English. It's okay. Here's another 2% for the yes vote. Look at there. Look at there. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Yes, some people will buy 2 or 3. Yeah, I agree. Little late on the Christmas high dots. Little late. Yes, a little late. I'd like to at least hit 500 votes on that, and then we can send that over so we can have that logged. So, DeGhoul says, I screenshotted my poll. Who do I send it to? Send it to Fear the Beardo. He'll love it. He'll love it, DeGhoul. So let Fear the Beardo know. He'll love it. He'll go, yeah, he'll be very happy about that. So let's see here. I gotta redirect. Jay is waiting on me. Where's my stream at? Okay, there's that. Let's see. Kirk's passing. With Kirk's passing, it feels like the right has fallen. I don't agree, but I understand what you're saying. I don't think so. But especially with Candace's insane conspiracies, I'm worried about the messages that sends the left. I don't disagree with the overall concern, but man, I think that if Trump nails it with the economy and nails it with immigration, none of that matters. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful for the passing of Charlie Kirk, because the passing of Charlie Kirk was awful, but it's the worst thing that we've probably ever witnessed. But Donald Trump doing what he needs to do, that is what's more important than anything. And that's what we have to focus on. So, but I understand what you're saying. Narco says, wrap it up so we can watch you abandon your teammates in Fortnite. All right. We're going to end it there. If you guys want to hang out with me and Jay while we play some Fortnite, we won 15 matches last night. The Cobra Cow connection was stepping up. It was awesome. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I hope you have a good night. All right, there it is, Jessica. You got the screenshot of that. I'm about to end it, so you can take a screenshot, or anyone else can screenshot that so we can show the results. It looks like we got about 250 saying yes. So that's a good gauge for that. There it is right there. If you can screenshot that, mods. There it is. So I appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you on Fortnite. And then we're streaming tomorrow, probably right after daily. We're streaming tomorrow, and then we've got Tuesday night's main event. So you guys have a good night, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone. Narco says, time for Jay to carry this thing. Oh, shit, that's on the other stream. Fuck me. All right, bye.